On today's show, Eloise from Strawberry Moon Designs is back and she shows us 8 techniques to take your stack to the next level. Hello, Greg from Balloon Market here and welcome to BMTV. And as you can see, Eloise from Strawberry Moon Designs is back. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm very, very good. Now, I'm going to start with a wow. Look at this.
Thank you.
This is amazing. So last time you showed us how to make a stack.
I did, yes.
And this is getting closer to the sort of thing that you would normally do.
Absolutely.
So it's lots of details. But you use twisting.
I do,
But
yes.
you're not a twister.
I'm not, no. I've just sort of picked up the skill as I've gone along.
Okay. So that looks very impressive. Before we get down to it, how did you learn the twisting?
YouTube, Reels,
Okay.
yeah, mainly just YouTube. Once I've decided something that I want to do, I might just have a little Google and see what I can find.
Okay.
And yeah, I think gradually now I've started to be able to teach myself different things. I don't have to follow tutorials anymore. Yeah, just a bit of...
Once you get the idea of some of the techniques, you can start utilising that and playing
Absolutely.
yourself. And that's an important part of learning, is actually getting a bag of 260s, 360s, 350s, whatever, and having a go.
Absolutely,
So,
yeah, giving it a good go.
Yeah, so that's great. Okay, well let's move this off and then you can start
Perfect.
showing us some of these techniques. I'll just move this little bit over here. Oh, nearly lost the egg. Whoa, whoa. Right.
Okay.
So what are we going to do first?
I think we're going to go with this flower here, which I believe is Lavender Sprig. So we want to inflate our 260, leaving a bit of space at the end just for the air to be able to be pushed up. What I did just then was I let a little bit of air out at the top just to make sure that the 260 is nice and soft. And I often give it a little pinch as well, just so it doesn't pop. So we're going to start off by creating a bubble. We're going to make this bubble into a pinch twist by pulling the neck of the balloon towards the 260 and pinching it off, and it creates a little pinch twist.
Okay.
Or some people call it an ear twist as well. So
I've never heard that.
Giving it a little squeeze. Maybe it's American.
I've never
the ear.
heard that.
Oh, sorry, I don't get your dad jokes. I'm very slow with these dad jokes. So the next one, we're going to do a bubble. Again, and again, we're going to do another pinch twist. So similar concept, and then we're going to do another. So squish it down, make sure it's nice and soft, a bubble, and another pinch twist. I still sometimes have to pull a bit of a face because I'm scared of them popping.
And does that help? Does that stop them popping?
Yeah, it must do.
Wow.
So here we have it. This is what it looks
All
like
right,
to begin
good.
with. And basically we do another bubble, a larger one, and we repeat the steps again, but just doing 2 pinch twists.
Okay.
So 1,
That's quite a cool little technique, actually.
2, thank you. Oh, I'm losing that pinch twist there. 2, try and get them sort of equal in size if you can, but it doesn't matter too much because I think it sort of gives it a bit of a rustic look if they're not completely symmetrical.
I do sometimes think people are scared of trying twisting and incorporating twisting into their designs because you really can add value, can't you?
Absolutely, yeah. I think it really adds that extra detail and it's just so lovely for people to be able to come and have a look at their balloons when they come to pick them up and just see all the extra added little bits that you've managed to do. And I think twisting's got a really sort of good place for that. And I think it's just really important just to try it out. You know, it might not work, it might not look good. And, you know, I've wasted numerous balloons because it hasn't always worked out, but it's all trial and error.
But you're running out of balloon now, aren't you?
I'm running out of balloons, so I'm going to stop here.
Okay.
Doesn't matter how big this bit is, it just sort of depends how big you want it, really. This one that's on the stack is slightly larger, but it's fine. So we're going to just snip the end off here. I wish I was a twister, because they can just rip it off, can't
I know,
they?
it's very
I've tried,
impressive.
but it's not...
Do you know Rob Driscoll? Whenever he comes on the show, he's amazing.
Can he do that?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I need to ask him.
He can do anything with modelling balloons.
I need to ask him his technique, because, yeah, I haven't quite mastered that yet. So I'm just going to tie it off, and then that is your little lavender sprig.
Okay, very good. So that's the first technique.
That's the first technique. So the next one, what should we go with?
Let's go for the stem.
Okay,
Should we do the
perfect.
stem?
Yeah, we'll do the stem. So we want to take a 260.
What balloon is that?
That is the dusk something green.
260 pastel dusk laurel green Sempertex.
Yes.
That's a long name.
That is a long name. So with the stems, it really just depends how long you want it and how it's going to sit on your balloon stack. So I don't need it to be that long. I'm going to chop off half of the bottom anyways. So I'm just going to tie a knot and I'm going to create 3 loop twists. So just make sure it's nice and soft. Take my first loop. Always hold on to this if you can, because sometimes they do unravel. The next loop twist, and then one more. And then you have the
Very simple.
stem of your balloon.
And you just tie that in.
And then you just tie that in, yes. So I just find the neck of the balloon somewhere and just pulling quite tight on the little lavender flower. And I just wrap it around the leaves a little bit, just the loops, just to make sure it's nice and secure and it's sat nicely in the, or on top of the stem.
Okay.
And then I'll just chop that bit off. Make sure it's nice and neat. And there you have it.
I like the use of the word chop. You don't cut, you don't snip.
Chop.
You chop.
Chop it off, yeah.
Assertively.
Yeah,
chopping.
absolutely. We want to chop it off.
Yeah.
So it adds that little bit of more extra. Oh, I keep on, this little neck keeps on popping out. Right, there you are.
Very good. Okay.
How's about that?
Right, so we've done that.
Right, done that one.
We've done that.
Measure up in a moment how big we want, and then I'll chop this bit off.
Yeah, okay.
Cool. So
What's next?
what should we do? We can either do a, this is an open tulip or a closed tulip.
Let's do an open tulip, because that looks quite complex.
Cool. It's actually really easy.
I
So
know,
I
that's
will
the
show you.
joy. Things look very complicated, but they're normally quite simple.
Easy, so easy. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult to measure it out, but you basically want to inflate your 260 nearly all the way.
Okay.
And then you want to tie your ends together. So you've got a circle. So it looks like this.
Yep.
And now you want to try, which is a bit I find a little bit difficult.
You just said it was easy.
Well, no, it is really easy once you've got these measurements correct.
Okay.
But you need to try and put it into 3s, if that makes sense. Right, another bubble, like so. And then we want to half this down like this. And twist.
Yep.
So it looks like, although that petal's a bit smaller, let's try and make it a bit more equal in size. There you go. So it looks like this.
All right, simple so far.
So it's so simple. So with these two, we're going to just give them a little pinch and sort of pull them downwards.
Yep.
So as you can see here, it makes the petal.
I see.
And same again. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull either side of the top petal through,
Ooh.
like so.
This is the complex bit.
And this is the bit that it doesn't always stay, but we'll give it a go. Oh, I think it's going to work.
Okay.
Hold on, let's see. Ta-da-ish.
Ta-da-ish.
Yeah, not quite right. Not quite right. Hold on a moment, bear with me. I could sit here and amend it all day because I'm a
Okay, but you put another
perfectionist.
balloon in the middle, don't you?
Yes, you do. So
Let's do that.
what we want to do is just inflate this. Now we don't know what size we're going to go, so we're going to overinflate it slightly. And then we're going to just sort of measure it. So hold the neck of the balloon and sort of measure it as you're deflating the balloon so that it sits nicely in the middle. So once you've got this shape that you want,
Yep.
don't tie it just yet, wrap it in, and then you can tie it off
Okay.
once it's wrapped in. So it's a little bit hard because it's a bit tight. Do you not? If I can.
Then you can do it.
There you go, I did it. And then push that in.
Have a play with those bits.
These little 2 bits off here.
And then you've got your tulip
And then
head.
you've got your tulip head. And
You
then
know
we-
what? That should really have another stem.
Absolutely, one we made earlier.
Ah, look at
that. And again, we just tie it in if we can. Just do a knot. Oh, did I miss it?
So where do you get your inspiration from when you're doing these sort of things?
It really depends. It depends what kind of theme I'm doing, but a lot of the time, sounds a bit strange, but I get a lot of my inspiration from cakes.
Okay.
But I think cakes are really creative. People that do cakes are just so clever.
Have you seen that woman on TikTok? It's got like 3 million followers that does cakes.
Oh,
and she does these things that, I think one was Harry Potter on a broom as if he's in the air.
Yes,
and
I think
stuff
I
like
have,
that. And it's
yeah.
absolutely, because there's mechanical stuff there as well.
Absolutely.
She's bonkers.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's so incredible. And I think they're just so creative. And so, yeah, a lot of my inspiration comes from cakes.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, a little bit strange, but
Check out cakes on Instagram.
yeah, it's very helpful.
All right, so the next thing we've got two the same.
Yeah, so I think, what colour do you want to go for?
I want to go for the colour you've got in your hand.
That's really handy, thank goodness. Right, so this is going to be our closed tulip. So we are going to blow it up about here, should be fine. So what's that? That's about a
hand and a half. 6.5 fingers, I'd say.
Yeah, something like that. I always find that a really difficult measurement because your hands are bigger than mine.
They
so
are.
How would we know?
Yeah.
Anywho, so we want to start off by creating a large bubble. 6-finger bubble. Okay. And then do one a similar size. Try and get these as accurate as possible. And then we're going to create another one. You've always got to hold on to the first one so it doesn't unravel. And then the last one. And then with the neck of the balloon, you're just going to twist it around nice and tight so it's secured. Just twist it as much as you want. So we've got 4. We're then going to twist this bit off, the 2.
Yep.
And then sometimes it's a little bit tricky because the balloons are a bit tight, which I do feel like they are right now. We're going to try and push.
I'm making that funny face.
Oh, I am. It's that face, I know.
I'm doing it.
Me too. And my double chin.
And you can do it. You can do it.
You want to...
We'll zoom in. We won't get the chin. Don't worry.
Push it through like so. Yes, it didn't pop. Look
This
at that.
works. Look at that.
See, so people mustn't be afraid of the 260s popping. They do pop sometimes.
Yep.
But more often than not,
they're good.
They're good. They're reliable.
They're designed for manipulating.
Absolutely. So we can either leave it like that and do a 4 petal tulip, but I always like to do 5. I just feel like it makes it a little bit puffy outery.
Makes it a bit what?
More puffy out.
More puffy outy?
Yeah, puffy
outery.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just think it makes it look a little nicer.
So we've got puffy outery.
So the way I do it.
And we've got ta-da-ish.
Ta-da-ish.
I like that. I like the language.
I did say before, I don't really use
English.
the correct English or terminology. I just like to wing it. This is what I do. I just wing it. I don't really know what I'm doing half the time, but it seems to turn out all right.
That's the secret of any business. Nobody actually knows what they're doing. It's very true.
So I deflated the balloon there and I just tied a knot, obviously. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull this right round, making sure it's quite tight to the neck of the balloon. And I'm just going to create a little knot. I don't think everybody does it this way, but I do it this way because I find it easier.
Yeah.
And then I just adjust it like that. It seems to work. You can't see the neck of the balloon anywhere. Just tuck it in. There you are.
Very good. And then you just attach that onto another stem that we can do later. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Perfect.
What? So we've done everything there.
So we've done everything there.
Now we're over here. So we've got a little Easter egg.
A little Easter egg.
That's quite cute. That looks very simple.
That's very easy.
Do you want to do that?
Should we give it a go? So I've already inflated the balloon.
Okay.
It's basically just a 5-inch balloon, blown up to however you want it. Give it a little push so that it looks a little bit more Easter eggy. Another great
Easter eggy, indeed.
Another great English terminology there. And I get my paint pen, a Posca pen.
Yeah.
A Posca pen.
Available at balloonmarket.co.uk.
And I just create a little design.
See, when I looked at this without my glasses on, I couldn't tell that you'd. I thought this was a printed balloon.
Thank you.
And it's not. You just did that. So it's a really cute little design. So very simple.
Very so yeah, do you want to give it a go, Greg?
I don't want to give it a go.
You don't want to give it a go.
You should see the pottery I've done with my children.
What should we do?
Pottery painting and stuff is terrible.
You can literally just do anything, just to make it look a little bit jazzed up. I always like to add hearts on it because I just think it looks cute.
Yeah. Okay.
So here we have it.
Very good.
Yeah. There you are.
Simple. Okay, where should we put these? Let's put these.
So,
let's put them back. Put them both in here. I've got a carrot here.
Oh, we've got a carrot.
Should we do a carrot?
Absolutely. So, the next thing we have is a carrot. So, in order to make our carrot,
funny.
So this is a 360, not a 260.
Yeah.
And we just want to inflate it just a little like so. And what we're going to do is release some of the air, tie a knot, and we are going to push this air right to the bottom. So I have actually managed to finally push all the air to the bottom.
Okay.
Doesn't matter about this one. We don't want a huge carrot, so it doesn't matter. I'm just going to cut a little hole so it deflates, and I'm going to just tie that off, if I can.
I'm really disappointed that didn't work.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear it. Maybe next time I will research that skill and I will come and teach you. Right, so I'm just going to chop that bit off, and so it looks sort of like a carrot, but we need the carrot top. So we're going to get a eucalyptus green 260.
Okay.
Inflate that a little bit. And
Who makes that? Is that Calasan or is that Sempertex?
Calasan, I believe.
Okay.
So we're going to make some loop twists. So we've made 3 loop twists so far. We're going to make a 4th just for the top. Make that one slightly bigger just so it's able to stick out a little bit. And there is our carrot top. We're just going to, what we're going to do first, actually no, we'll attach it to our carrot first by using the neck of the balloon. Tie it round nice and tight. Tie that off. And we can adjust it in a moment. I'm going to just chop this 260 off. Make sure, I always just tie it.
You did actually just chop the carrot.
Well done.
Well done, as she shakes her head.
I sort of got that one, so that's great. So chop that off, and here we have it. There's our
Perfect carrot. Lovely, right.
There we are.
We're getting through these techniques. Now the big thing.
The big thing.
The big thing is
the
this.
showstopper.
Okay.
Is the basket.
So this looks complicated. It's probably going to take a bit longer. So what do we do?
Okay, so what we do is we grab our 260s that we inflated earlier. So this is Calasan Caramel, I believe. It's a really nice brown, actually. I feel like it looks like a very baskety colour.
It is a very baskety colour.
So we've got 6 pairs of, 3 pairs of balloons, but 6 260s. We want to wrap our 260s. I might hit you a few times with these balloons. I'm sorry.
I am familiar with that.
Oh, sorry, Greg.
It's all right. You just knocked me out.
We're just going to tie them all within each other like so. We are going to make a pinch twist. It doesn't matter what balloon you use for the pinch twist. I'm going to use a pinch twist at the top, if I can, quite a large one. And then we're going to use a pinch twist at the bottom. You can sort of adjust it so that it, the pinch twist sits at the top and the bottom in a moment. It doesn't really matter where it is for now.
Oh, I see what you mean, okay.
So just adjust it like so. Now, we're going to start off by creating a little bubble just here.
Yeah.
And then a pinch twist at the end, like this. And then we're going to do the same for each one. So it's just going to go round.
Okay, so we'll probably speed this up.
Okay, so we have got the start off of our base of our...
Okay, so that is that bit,
yes.
right there.
So now we obviously need to connect it all together. So we want to try and make sure, that's our that's our pinch twist unraveling. Want to try and make sure where possible that all of our bubbles are sort of similar in size. It just helps the basket become a bit more balanced.
So what are you doing there? So you just did another pinch twist and now you're going between
No,
those.
sorry, my pinch twist unraveled. So I just did the pinch twist back up again. Then I'm just creating a bubble and then I'm attaching this one, so it's the same 260 to the one next to it.
The next pinch twist, okay.
So we just go round like so. With the other 260, the next one along, we use that one to create our next bubble.
Okay.
Again, similar size where possible. And once again, we just attach that into the next 260.
And that next 260 is the next connection.
Yeah, is the next connection.
Okay, so we'll probably speed that up as
Once
well.
again. And there we have it.
Okay.
So that is the full base of our basket.
All right.
So from there on, we then want to start weaving. So what we do is we create a little bubble, not too big, maybe a finger width bubble.
Yep.
And then we create the same size bubble going across here.
Same size as the ones you've
As
already
the one
done
below,
on the base.
yeah,
Okay.
if you can. Try and make it as similar as possible. So this sort of technique, I guess, can be used for so many different things. So previously I've used it for a top hat, I've used it for a basket, for strawberries, like similar to that, hot air balloon. So yeah, it's really versatile, is that the word?
It is the word.
So I want to create another bubble using this 260 and attach this 260 to that bubble there. And then we just want to continue going round.
So you do the same sort of thing? Where you
Same
just
sort of thing, but this will be our next sort of layer of our basket.
Yeah.
And then because, I'll show you in a second, but there's a little trick to do to make sure that you're securing it correctly. So another bubble. So obviously we're always changing up the 260 we're using, because if you didn't, you'd run out of that 260. Another bubble.
So because all your things are air-filled, you did say you do some helium.
Not really anymore. If people request helium, I generally outsource it.
Okay. But if most of your pieces are air-filled, so you can do them all in advance.
Yeah.
So how far in advance do you normally?
I generally do it the day before.
Okay.
Generally, just so that I can check if there's any faults or if anything's deflating. But yeah, generally the night before. So with this last one, obviously there's no 260 to wrap it into. So what we're going to do is create a bubble, again, a similar size to the bottom one, and we're just going to put the 260 in between there.
Okay.
So we just feed it through, like so.
Oh, I see. And
there you go. And then we start again. And then you can build it up as high as you want it. And I always sort of just end it with a little pinch twist at the top, just so it's nice and neat.
And then, so you've done 4 layers here.
I did.
Did you use just that many balloons, or did you have to add any more?
No, I just used that many balloons.
Oh, right, okay.
But obviously the top is slightly different.
Okay, so let's do that.
The top of the basket is really very, very easy. You just inflate 2 260s. Again, it really doesn't matter how much you inflate it for this part, because it just depends how big you want your handle of your basket. And you can always chop some off at the end if it's too big. But you don't really push up any air into these 260s, so you can practically blow them up all the way. So we attach these 2 260s together, and we basically just want to
spiral them
like so. When you have got your completed basket with the pinch twists on each corner, you can then just choose where you want it to go and just attach it to your
Very, very simple indeed.
Very simple.
So there you go. That is fantastic. Now, I think we might need to do something called a clicky finger thing. I know it's only your second time here, but I wonder what that was. There was something coming around from there's the balloons. Basically, we do the clicky finger thing.
Okay.
And you've got to turn that way, and then we click together.
Okay.
And then everything that we've done will be added to this, and it's going to look amazing.
Okay.
Okay.
One finger click or 2?
One finger. You've got to turn the other way.
Which way?
You're facing that way.
This way?
Yeah, and then we both use our right hands.
Oh, okay, and then we click.
1, 2, 3, and
I get you.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Look at that.
I did it.
That's how did you find that clicky finger thing?
I mean,
Was
it's
all
amazing.
Right?
I wish I could have it at home.
I know, it'd be great, wouldn't it? Just if you could get work done that quickly. So here we are. We have got the finished product.
The product, yeah.
And I think that just shows the detail of, and that's what you do. It's the detail that really sells. Whilst we were, whilst we did the clicky finger thing in that period of time that didn't exist, you were telling me how at the beginning it took you quite a long time, but to make sure that you price it right.
Yes, absolutely. The pricing aspect of it, I must admit, is not my favourite part.
Yeah.
But you really do need to charge for your time. You need to really factor that in, because it might be inexpensive to do the twisting, to buy the 260s once you've got them. but it takes, excuse me, it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, yeah. So you were saying for something like this, you would charge around?
About 80, 85 maybe.
Yeah, and I think that's very reasonable. And that's for people collecting. So that's no delivery, anything like that.
No delivery.
That's for people collecting. So I think that gives people a really good insight. But you say you start them, even for the simple ones like we did on the last show, sort of 45, 50 pounds.
Actually, no, I start for the bluey one with the added details, with the sort of bones and the 260s around the numbers and things like that. That would probably be about £60.
About £60? Okay.
Yeah, about £60.
Okay.
Probably to this, I may add, you know, a few more carrots, maybe some flowers to the front of the basket, something like that. I always jazz it up.
Okay.
To the full potential, to its full potential. So yeah, I think around £80, £85.
That's great. Okay. Eloise, as a guest on BMTV, I'm going to put this back in. As a guest on BMTV, you get to ask everybody the question of the week. So, please
what
ask
is
everybody.
your favourite Easter egg chocolate?
What's yours?
It's got to be Cadbury's.
I know, I'm the same.
Yeah, I don't think
It
anybody
doesn't matter
can
what it
dispute
is.
that.
It doesn't matter what it is.
I think everybody would have to agree.
Yeah. Okay.
Confident with that.
So it's not the best question if everybody's just
Probably
going to put
not.
Cadbury. There's probably some people out there that like other eggs
I
as
do
well.
quite like Tony's chocolate.
Okay, yeah.
Have you ever tried that? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We could talk about chocolate for
We
hours.
could.
Anyway,
I could.
thank you so much for that, and thank you for that.
No problem.
And thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't, please do, and hit the bell icon. You'll be notified every single time we upload a new show. Check us out on Instagram. Check us out on TikTok, where the fun stuff happens. From myself and Eloise, see you next time. Bye.